The New York Times is at it again. Its hypocrisy is once again out in the open. Americans are reading a newspaper which has lost touch with reality. Before reporting about any institution, it firstly looks at the ideological tilt of people handling those institutions, then it carefully selects the narrative to fit in the given report. Hi and welcome to TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of TFI Media Group. This is Tejasvi Malhotra and I'm here to tell you about the clear and unequivocal inconsistency in NYT's stand on economic recovery of India and US in post-pandemic world. Let's begin. The NYT has again shown why liberal media is losing its clout faster than Will Smith losing his temper. In December 2021, the propaganda portal tried to downplay India's faster recovery. Now, with its recent editorial in which it did not subject Joe Biden to the same standard as it does to PM Modi, it has given one more reason to Indians to not read NYT for a reliable editorial. In the first 3 months of the year, America's GDP declined to 0.4%. Obviously, it is a big failure for any government, especially when Corona is not a big threat anymore. But look at that way. NYT twisted the numbers in favor of Joe Biden administration. NYT decided to give distinction to the USA's performance in the post-COVID world. It goes on to blame inventories and international trade for the Biden administration's failure. Newspaper claims that because the companies had already stacked up too much during COVID, they did not spend much on buying new products in 2022, which led to decline in factory output. Similarly, while blaming declining international trade, NYT wrote that imports in the US have soared while exports have declined. It blamed other countries for decline in exports as the newspaper believes that they could not recover in time as they didn't buy enough US-made products. But wait, isn't it self-contradictory? If you have enough to export and countries are unable to buy your products, then why are you not making your people consume those products which you are producing for export? Why are you relying on imports to serve the economic needs of your country? Only God knows what NYT was thinking before publishing it. Then it presented a rosy picture of the US economy by stating that consumer spending and business investments have grown in the US. It gave data for increased consumer spending as it increased by 0.7%. Consumer spending is the aircraft carrier in the middle of the ocean. It just keeps plowing ahead, it quoted an economist. However, the credit for this goes to the US government providing free cash to US citizens and millions of migrants. It does not mean that people in the US are earning a good amount of money to spend, but NYT cited no data to prove that business investments are growing in America. Now let's compare its report about the US economy to how it describes India's economic recovery. Throughout the whole pandemic, it tried to demean the Modi government's efforts towards improving Indian economic prospects. The newspaper, which had raised questions about India's GDP calculation in 2019, just could not digest the fact that in spite of having fewer lockdowns, India was on a sharper recovery trajectory. Without waiting for removal of COVID restrictions, it went on to write in September 2020 that COVID had shattered India's big dreams. In April 2021, it published a report titled COVID-19 Pushes India's Middle Class Toward Poverty. The fact of the matter is that India actually saved millions of people from going into extreme poverty during COVID. Then when official numbers started to indicate that India is on sharper recovery, NYT again showed its anti-India, or should we say anti-Modi tilt by showing India's data as untrustworthy. By the end of 2021, it had become impossible to deny India's economic recovery. So the New York Times tried to give it an unscientific twist. On 30th November 2021, it published an opinion titled "Weak Recovery Leaves India's Middle Class Anxious and Frugal." The opinion was written by a New Delhi-based journalist Karandeep Singh. Viewers should note that NYT puts a person with an Indian name in charge to showcase that whatever they are reporting about India is trustable. The fact is, it is not always true. In fact, it is rarely true. In his analysis, Karandeep Singh seems to rely on his personal experience more than data crunching on official numbers. To downplay India's economic growth of 8.4% in the particular quarter, he cites shopkeepers' account of decline in sales of personal shops. Through showing that their sales have declined, Singh tries to showcase that India's middle class is not willing to pay much in the post-pandemic world. However, rarely does a personal account can be called representative of the whole. Multiple factors are present when a business registers fall in the revenue. It may be true that another shopkeeper benefited from a decline in his sales. Besides, we do not know whether NYT actually talked to an actual businessman, as in the past they have tried to peddle fake news against India. Ever since PM Modi came to power, NYT has always tried to belittle India's growth story. The newspaper, which has won 132 Pulitzer Prizes in the past, once advertised that it will only hire anti-Modi business correspondents. So it is no longer a surprise when they blatantly disregard logic and reason for registering an ideological coup in narrative war. What can you expect from a newspaper which considers Rana Ayub to be a credible journalist?